Wider research has found that a whopping 83% of UK CEOs think there'll be a full return to the office in the next 3 years. Do you see a return to the office for businesses, and what are the challenges and the benefits of that?
Yeah, I'm surprised that figure's not slightly higher. It's definitely a challenge. Certainly we speak to our tenants. Most of them have struggled at times to get all their teams back. I think it's affected the type of space that they may necessarily, choose to rent. So we've moved certainly some of our tenants around to sort of accommodate different styles. But yeah, there's no doubt that, I feel that pretty much all of the ones that I know of, they want their teams back.
So the current pipeline for good quality office space in the major UK cities seems to be very limited despite the demand. I mean, what do you think the options are for businesses looking for that high quality space?
If you're trying to do a new office development at the moment, there's not a lot of appetite in the banking world to finance it in the first place. So naturally developments are going to be down from what they would normally be. And the new stuff, if you want to do something nice, it costs money to do. And, unless you're self-financing, again, that requires visiting the banks or the lenders to see what appetite they have to provide you with those facilities to do those refurbishment works, combined with the greater current cost of construction. They're not happy bedfellows. So yeah, I can see that there will be a shortage. And also you then got the business owners who, in the process of trying to attract their staff back to work, there's no doubt they've taken the opportunity to look for different places. So in that process, they're looking for the sort of new, more luxurious, sexier premises, and there's not as much around as they realised.
So wider research shows in Glasgow that it has less than 12 months Grade A office space and very limited construction pipeline coming through. I think that's probably the trend in most cities with limited new build office space. I mean, we're seeing trends where investors and developers are purchasing your older style office buildings, from the 70s, 80s and 90s, and then, embarking on comprehensive refurbishments and fit outs to bring them up to Grade A standards. Is that a trend that you see, and you see that continuing?
Yeah, I think that is the trend at the moment. Yeah, if I think of our Wilmslow HQ site, we built that from scratch, new. But the dynamics were different then. The ability to obtain finance, the build cost, everything was more favorable. So, financially it stacked up. Whereas our most recent site, West Street ByColony in Audley Edge, that one there, the economic opportunity was actually to find an existing building from the 90s, great location, and it made more sense for us to try and get that at a good price and then basically refurb it to the sort of standards that our tenants and members expect. So that refurbishment model absolutely is the trend.
What do you think employees expect when they return into the office? And, how do you feel that employers can attract them back?
That flexibility is the thing that we're seeing. We have offices which are empty for 2 days a week because the compromise has been that the employers are coming in 3 days a week. I mean, I'd say that's not the norm, but we do see it, to sort of furthest extreme. There's no doubt that those same, business owners, they've been looking at offices and sites where there's a greater range of amenities. With more facilities, because you're trying to persuade, your teams to come back in. So the more things you can persuade them with, in terms of great facilities, wellness, frankly, how good the quality of the building is, this all stacks up.
And do you feel like since COVID, there's been an increase in that? Do you feel like you're constantly having to get better and offer more? Whether it is a gymnasium, whether it is a chill out room, whether it's a barbecue area, or whether it's EV charging, do you feel like you're constantly having to keep up with that?
Yeah, that sort of flight to quality was something that, that I think is more seen now and perhaps been blamed on COVID. But actually it's just a natural movement of the market where we're going out of those sort of old 80s, 90s office blocks, and the new ones that are coming along that were built in the 2000s, they're naturally better, a lot better. So if you're the owner of an older building, then you have to, basically bring yours up to standard or it will be empty.
So in terms of employers then, what do you think is important, with regards to attracting the best talent and also retaining employees?
Yeah, I think certainly the character and the quality of the space. It's simple things. We tend to install EV chargers now in most of our sites because more employees will come with electric vehicles. It sounds a simple one, but actually it's quite important. So it's just trying to think of all the additional extras. All of our spaces, the communal spaces are really nice. You'd want to hang out there. Getting that work environment if you've chosen well, you stand a far higher chance of attracting good talent.
Well, it's interesting to hear, Ed, what you think the challenges are in the sector, and also great to see that you're grasping the opportunities as well. So really looking forward to seeing what your next scheme is going to deliver.
Thank you.